So hello everyone, welcome back to the Inner Realms Academy. It's Naomi here, and today we're going to be looking at the astro weather for the 14th to the 21st of September 2020. And we're just going to give you a bit of a heads up of what to expect for the week ahead. We've got a lot of events coming up over for the rest of this year, so I just want to make sure that you guys are updated well, and you know how to be able to transmute some of these energies. So we do have a few events this week, and I'll be going through them in due time. But today I'm filming this on the 14th of September. This is Monday the 14th of September. And we do have the Sun trine in Pluto today. And this is a very interesting energy. Let me actually pull up the chart at the same time. This is a very interesting energy because it's a very polarized energy. The sun is literally light, or yes, the light, whereas Pluto would literally be the darkness. So it's literally the underworld and the light, two completely opposing realms, literally in battle with each other. So we will see this playing out in so many different ways on a global scale, on a personal scale. So we do need to pay attention to everything, as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything is interconnected. It's important not to disassociate with anything. So as I said, we have the Sun trine in Pluto on the 14th, Monday the 14th, and it could bring a hell of a lot of dysfunctionality. Now let me just pause here for a moment, because in the last video that I did warn that there was going to be some major events taking place, and we can see in the news right now. We've had the warnings for this massive tropical storm that's turning into a hurricane, Storm Sally. We're seeing a surge of earthquakes literally surging across the earth. We're seeing so many things, and what's very interesting, especially with this Mars squaring Saturn aspect, and I will be going into this in the Mars retrograde video. I'm filming this as soon as I finish this video, this podcast. But I'm noticing that wherever there is a fire taking place, there's an earthquake or a volcano eruption nearby, and this is Saturn is representative of the Earth. It's an Earth sign. It is the Earth. It is the third dimensional field. It's our third dimensional reality. It is the physical foundation of the Earth. So we have Saturn in square. What is a square? This is creating a dynamic tension. This is creating a harsh reaction that we're having to a square creates a 90-degree angle, so it creates a dramatic shift in perspective, right? So this is the conversation that's happening between Saturn and Pluto. We have Pluto. This is the intensity, it's dynamic. This is literally representative of a volcano, right? And things coming to the surface. We have Jupiter that's just gone direct, and I will be filming that video probably tomorrow. And Jupiter expands, right? And Jupiter is currently in Capricorn, where we have currently 6 planets in Capricorn, in an Earth element, which is very heavy. Just think of it as weight, like all of these planets as weight within Earth, right? It's created a lot of changes, and this is what why we can justify what we're actually seeing in a way, because I do believe some of it is nature, but I believe a lot of it is not. And a lot of this I'll go into Mars retrograde, because I really do believe a lot of this is energy directed weapons as well. And that's something we really do need to be careful of. I did mention about this whole battle of the gods thing, and this is really, really playing out in so many different ways. So as I said, the Sun trine in Pluto, it's bringing two polarities together, dark and light. Sun trine in Pluto can also bring something to light, because the sun is life. It is the birthing of light, and Pluto it creates the spark for life, right? So something can be brought to life again, volcanoes, big volcanoes, and there's a lot of dormant volcanoes that haven't erupted in 1,000 to 3,000 years that are now coming to life right now. Like, astrology does not lie. And I'm just amazed seeing all of this play out before my eyes as an astrologer, because it's literally like clockwork. But there's still a lot of things that we're kind of discovering at the same time, because a lot of the placements and transits that we're experiencing in this current time, we've never experienced before. Um, these are very, very rare transits. So we something is being able, or the potential for something to come to life on a personal level. This can be really great because there's a lot of creative energy that we're being surrounded with right now. That's also a great expression of Sun trine Pluto. um and yeah, we can bring something into fruition, we can manifest something. This is great manifested potential in this time. um Ooh. This also brings up a lot of secrecy, everything to do with the occult. So definitely pay attention to some stuff that'll be coming up with that. But there's a lot of, just the word is that's been coming to me is just carnage, destruction. This is also um, an expression of this energy. Now, just because it's a trine, now a trine is a harmonious aspect, is where energy can harmoniously flow between two planets, right? But these are two quite opposing, very dynamic planets that are trining. So the potential for that can be quite destructive. It's literally like two titans being able to come together and harmonize their energies. Now, one thing with this is that this is also fated. It's something that's destined to happen, whatever is taking place, whether it's planned or wherever it's divine intervention or whatever. This is something where everything, universal forces are coming together, and it's like, boom, right, this is what needs to happen. So we do need to be able to take that into consideration, as well as all the bullshit that's taking place at the same time. Now, as I said, this incredible energy with Sun trine Pluto, it creates a very magnetic sexual power. And especially whilst we've got Mars currently in retrograde. Now, Mars is co-rulership of Scorpio and Aries, right? These are the two warriors of the zodiac. One is of water, one is of fire. Scorpio water, Aries fire. Now, when the two come together, now that creates alchemy. That creates something very big, um, very intense, right? So this is Sun and Pluto, fire and water coming together. Now that also creates purification, and this is definitely a very cleansing time. However, this cleansing looks, this could be in many different ways. This could be lives that are being cleansed, or a lot of people's lives being lost. um this can be cleansing of, certain relationships. This can be a cleansing even within your personal self as well, as we've got the new moon in Virgo coming up on the 17th as well. So this is a very big time of cleansing, right? And purging. Like, this is intense. I can't even begin to explain and express to you how intense this energy is right now. So as much as there's an awakening of our own self-consciousness, um, which is the sun, but there's also an awakening of the deep aspects of our subconscious mind and our subconscious activity. So this is why I've been telling you guys, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, because everything's just going to be very easily reactive right now. Like, one click, boom. Right? Everything's just going to feel incredibly powerful, more powerful than it's ever felt before. And that can also link to some of those earthquakes. Again, even look at the weather. Some of these storms are very, very powerful. Um, this is energy, and this is how energy expresses itself. So when we see this energy being expressed in the earth, this is also energy that we can also harness at the same time. So now going back into the sexual power thing, right? Because this is very Scorpio, very Plutonian, and I'm a Pluto in the first house, so I love talking about this stuff. But this is a very powerful time for you guys, and I really, really challenge you guys to tap in. And some of you guys are going to struggle because we're in Virgo season, and some of you are going to be in extra fidget mode, you know. But I really challenge you to explore. I really challenge you to explore with your sexuality in this time, to not allow yourself to be held up by a hang-ups of, you know, whatever traumas is preventing you from being your true self. I'm trying to let you know something. Some of your sexual encounters are going to bring you deeper into a deeper revelation of yourself. You're going to enter literally a cosmic reflection of self through these sexual encounters. So this is something I'm experiencing within myself. So I'm just saying, listen, tap in, experience, and it's gonna get even more intense when Mars goes direct. It's just gonna be like boom, baby. But I'm fully excited for that. So now use this opportunity, even if you don't have a partner. Use this opportunity for yourself. Begin to explore within yourself. You know, begin to start playing with yourself. Like, actually start to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Begin to just, like, what do I like? If you're waiting for someone to actually come and please you and do just lift you into some heaven that you've imagined for yourself, you need to know how to create heaven for yourself too, because that someone can create that for you, but you because you don't know what you don't know what you like, you don't even know how to identify these experiences at the same time. Sorry, just taking a drink. So tap into this energy is really powerful. So as I was mentioning, the polarity, there's almost like a struggle between life and death and light and darkness. This is intense because Mars is retrograde and it's amplifying some of our survival tactics, and our survival instincts. And we can see this again with some of the activity that's playing on the earth. You can imagine how people are just going to be in a fear and panic mode, and literally between this line of life and death. This is going to play out on so many different levels, and just open your eyes, be very aware to everything that's taking place. Do not get sucked into the emotions of everything that's taking place, but just allow yourself to pay attention, because you're having to find the balance between light and darkness. Because remember what I said at the beginning, and what I say every time, it's not about disassociating yourself from anything, right? So in positive aspects, Pluto is connected to great insight, incredible power within yourself, self power. This is Pluto also links to sovereignty, sovereign power, right? And charisma, how we're able to express that. Like, Pluto is just how it expresses itself. It's like, it's powerful, but it's so intriguing at the same. It's like a volcano. It's like, you look at a volcano, it's like, wow, how are you able to do that? Like, that's intense, right? We're able to tap into that in within ourselves. And what is that volcano? This is revelations just flooding out of the surface within us. It's just gonna feel like an explosion. And I've been having these types of experiences for the last few years, but I mean, I had another one as I spoke, was it last month? And it was crazy. It was a bit rough. In fact, this is what forced me to start this Patreon, because so much information was just coming. I'm just like, I need to find a way to get this information out. So we're all going to be feeling this on a collective level. And everything's just going to be flooding out. Everything's just going to be flooding out. And we just have to make sure that we don't get lost in this chaos. We do have that opposition to Neptune as well. So it's very easy to get lost in a lot of confusion at this moment. So be careful. Now, The sun will be shining its light. Where is the sun right now? The sun is currently in Virgo. So this is where it's shining its light on Virgoian um, issues. So this is really bringing intense critical analysis. That's one of the great strengths of Virgo, right? Is investigative skills is second to none because it sticks to the facts and but it goes all the way in, right? The way that it's able to construct and its arguments is just like, or it's how it even connects some of the information. It's just like, what? Like, it's crazy. So everything's just going to be coming up right now. So with the sun, sorry, I'm drinking a lot. Now the sun wants to shine its light on a situation, right? A matter, as this is 3D. This is Virgo. It's Earth. This is the Earth sign, so it's still dealing with something very physical. So the sun wants to shine its light on a physical situation or a physical matter. Pluto wants to penetrate the core of that matter. Now, this penetration, this also can play out in terms of discernment. The discernment of Pluto in Scorpio is intense. It literally is like X-ray vision. But penetration is also something going through something. I'm also seeing stabbings. And it's interesting because it was a few nights ago, I had a dream. I had a nap. And within that nap, I just saw people randomly going and stabbing people. And it was the craziest sight. It was literally outside my house. The craziest sight I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And it looked like something straight out of a movie. But whilst we've got a lot of, especially with this new moon in Virgo, this could destabilize some mental energies within people, especially with this opposition to Neptune. This could destabilize the chemical imbalances within people's minds. That's how deep it could go. Neptune is chemicals, moon is water, and emotions and how emotions flow. This could bring out some very dark intentions for people. And in fact, let me look at the chart, because we have a very close conjunction with Mars to Lilith, right? This is not good, which is again is squaring Pluto. It's squaring Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. Like this big conjunction of energy, all of this crazy energy that's taking place. This is gonna erupt a whole load of chaos. Carnage is the word I keep seeing. Like, and over the next few months, it's just gonna be so much. And I don't want to scare you guys. I just need you guys to be aware, to prepare for what is coming on this earth, because the face of the earth is about to change. And we are preparing for the pole shift. The pole shift is something I've been studying for about maybe 15 years now. And I remember back in school, they said, by 2050, climate change, all this stuff, everything will change, right? We're in the time of that change right now as we speak. So we have to get out. Uranus in Taurus is shifting out our comforts. We've been very comfortable enough for a very long time. Now is the time for the shift, and we're living this shift. We can't get so lost in the illusions that shit ain't happening. It really is. So what do we need to do? Prepare ourselves. Prepare yourselves in whatever capacity that is. Now, let's move forward. Now, with this intense critical analysis, we can find great faults. That's a great trait of Virgo. It can be quite judgmental, one of its dark shadow aspects of Virgo. But we can also find some really great insights. We can find, in fact, the energy I'm feeling with this is which is very similar to what I've been experiencing. We're gonna start realizing some like this shit is some bullshit. Right? And whether that relates to COVID, this in fact it relates to a lot of things. The lid is just coming off on everything right now, and this is why we have to allow ourselves to navigate this ego purification. I call it, yeah, I wouldn't call it death, I call it purification or re-emergence, right? It's going through a transformation because we can't be so stuck in our ego to think that we know what the frick everything's going on right now. Like, no, where our perspective, the foundations of our information hasn't even been correct. We've been lied to by everybody. Right? So we're having to learn everything fresh, brand new. So the with the when your ego is unbalanced, this is what can tip the positive side of this energy to a more destructive and controlling one. So this is why you really need to be paying attention to your ego. You could be playing out in the same chaos that you're angry at. That's reflecting around the earth right now. You could be uh, participating in that whole thing. And you know, for those who are actually studying Wesico, you get exactly what I'm talking about. Because when we're looking at this whole shadow projections and mutual projections, and we're seeing this whole collective psychosis literally just reverberating around the earth, we still have to check that we're still not in that psychosis. Because there's many times I have to check myself, like, yo, girl, that's psychosis. Get yourself out. Wake up. Like, we all need to be navigating or making sure that we're not leading to anxiety consciousness, because the energies is so hyper. I've never struggled this much with my mind in this type of energy. Like, since North Node went in Gemini, I've just been like this. Yo, now I get why some people say that Gemini is fucking bipolar. Like, I get it. Like, but it's weird. Like, it's such a weird experience for me because I'm a Capricorn stellium, so I'm normally quite grounded, right? But this shit right here, this is some next stuff. Like, I was not prepared for, and to be going for a Saturn return in top of this, yeah, universe, you had jokes, you had jokes, but you know, Capricorn.